Now we have a very interesting panel, perhaps the first panel discussion of the day, on leading role of the PSUs in the digitalization of economy. And for that, we have eminent speakers with us from for leading PSUs of the country, be it oil and natural gas, HSCC, or Container Corporation of India, Oil India, Chris, and NTPC as well. I request all the delegates to take your seat so that we can start the panel discussion. Let me invite Sharat Sahai Mathur, Group General Manager, Chris, if you can come on stage, please. A huge round of applause for him. Vishal Mittal, General Manager, Oil and Natural Gas Corporation Limited, ONGC. A huge round of applause for him as well. Mr. Ajay Kumar Nima, GM IT HECC India Limited. Ms. Ritu Narang, Senior General Manager, Container Corporation of India. Chandan Kumar Barman, DGM IT Oil India Limited. And Mr. Ajay Kumar Pathak, AGM NTPC. Hi, welcome all. We have seen the inaugural session and now we are here in the first panel discussion of the day. You all are digital transformation leaders from various public sectors of the country. I can see a railway public sector, oil and natural gas public sector, healthcare public sector, again, and also energy public sector, and also logistic public sector. All are here, if I may say so. That's a mixed crowd, if I can say so. So let me ask the first question to Mr. Sharat Mathur from Chris. Mr. Mathur, if I may ask you that, what have been the key milestones in the digital transformation journey of your organization, maybe last 3 to 4 years down the line? Your take on that, please.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here. I hope it is audible.
Yeah, it's audible, okay. I think.
Fine. Of course, I don't represent PSU in the normal way because Chris is actually very much a public sector organization, but it is a society rather than a corporation. And the IT that Chris handles is actually for Indian Railways overall IT requirements. So basically, when I am talking about milestones in my organization, I am talking about the milestones for Indian Railways. And that, of course, I don't think it needs much of a explanation because most of us are aware. In the last few years, how have we moved? What are the major milestones? I would say is that number one, we have moved from purely customer-facing applications to applications that are at the back end of railways operations. Because railways is a very large system and there are a very large number of interacting processes in the organization. Of course, the front end that we as passengers or customers see is only selling tickets and then running trains. But behind that, there's a lot of asset management going on. There's a lot of materials management. Human resources have to be managed and finances have to be managed. So moving from purely transactions that affected the general user, that is ticketing and freight invoicing, to back-end process automation. That has been the main movement and the main digitalization that has happened in the last few years. So we have moved from purely transactions to process automation to enterprise level applications, and now the latest requirement is to automate the entire ecosystem. You would have heard of Gati Shakti, for example. So there is a logistics ecosystem, there is a travel ecosystem, and that consists of a large number of organizations which interact and information moves across these organizations, across the ecosystem. So the applications that we make now are focused on efficient interchange of this information, for example, through APIs. So that is basically how the transformation has.
I'll come back to you, but just so if I take a crux of what you've said, that the journey has been starting from customer-centric solutions to now almost at the level of entire back-end automation and everything. That has been the hallmark of Chris. A very important part, as you have said, that we cannot define Chris as the mere public sector boundaries, but Chris is an important organization when it comes to technological innovations, especially in the government space. In that way, we can call it that Chris is implementing technology and it's a PSU as well. Let me have a perspective from Mr. Vishal Mittal from Oil and Natural Gas Corporation Limited General Manager. Mr. Mittal, your thoughts on, you have been in this field for so many years, you've seen all the journeys. How do you rate that where this ONGC is standing at present in terms of digital transformation journey?
Yeah. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. Good morning, only. See, you have to realize ONGC is an upstream business, which has always been a tech-savvy business. It has never been a case that we are not at the front end of the business or of the technology. So, if for the audience, I will just put a little brief on that. We are within the upstream, we have got 2 or 3 lines. One is a core exploration, wherein you just send the sound signals, and then the reverberations of that needs to be processed and interpreted, and you have to find what are the fault inside the earth. There we are working from 4 hertz to 2 kilohertz and sometimes 40 kilohertz. Then there is another business which is our drilling system, where you drill, and then you have to have you are working all the way in offshore as an onshore. In onshore, you start drilling and you are going up to 5,000 meters also. And in that 5,000 meter, you have to search just a 5 meter, 6 meter of a patch or a band where the oil is. And then once the oil has been discovered, you have to process it, bring it to the surface, and then process it and goes into refineries. So as ONGC, we have always been in front. But the coming in the last 5 years, a lot of digitization has been happening in the sense that these were all in a silos. So now like in Infocom, if I say, we have been in multiple digital, what you call technologies, say from paperless and other things. But the thing is now we have to bring all of them at one central, platform where all these 3 silos can speak to each other and give us the optimization. So that is where we are working as of now. Like if you have seen we are very strong in latest technologies in exploration, whereas in our production technologies, and the drilling, where our wells are located right in the remote jungles where there is no electricity, nothing, just one well, and you will not see in around 5-kilometer areas, nobody would be there. So now we are bringing those wells right on the online, and in fact we have been working on from well to boardroom. Well to boardroom is the one which has been given as a mandate to do it. So out there we have SCADA, out there we have communication, out there we have all kind of instruments, and those things have to be brought back and optimized. Probably that is one I would say in a very short stuff. Thank you.
So it's basically breaking those silos. That has been the hallmark of ONGC. And I'll come back to the challenge as well. We have with us Mr. Ajay Kumar Nima, GM IT from HECC India Limited. HECC India is again one of the leading public sectors which comes under Ministry of Health. And there, you name any big hospitals in the country done by government, you can see HECC's presence there. So, Mr. Nima, I would like to ask you, if I may ask you, if you can highlight 1 or 2 hallmark projects of HSCC when it comes to implementing IT and innovation technology. If you can just point out those 2 hallmark projects.
Yeah. Hello. Good morning, everybody. I am from HSCC. Basically, you know about HSCC. We develop the health infrastructure in all over India, and also the IT infrastructure for all these infrastructure. Basically, for this AIIMS-like institute or some other equivalent institute, we develop in nationwide. So our one great project is there in AIIMS Delhi. That is a digital network development of digital network infrastructure, which we have developed for the new Masjid Mode campus of AIIMS Delhi, and one National Cancer Institute at Jhajjar. So these 2 infrastructure we have developed for the this AIIMS New Delhi. It is a 100G based network infrastructure. It is the first kind of unique network infrastructure in the healthcare sector, particularly in India. So what we are going to develop in India, basic digital health infrastructure, digital network infrastructure for all the upcoming aims. We have also developed other aims also, aims Nagpur, aims Mangalagiri, Andhra Pradesh, aims Kalyani in West Bengal, and aims Raebareli in Uttar Pradesh. So we are developing basically for our clients for the IT infrastructure, so they can cater to all the their needs, like they can implement the latest applications like HMIS, picture archival and communication system, PACS, education management systems, and library automations. All these latest technology, they can utilize the latest technology like IoT, AIs, and they can provide the better services to their patients. How they can improve the patient care services and reduce the waiting times. That is ultimately goal for all these infrastructure. And we have also developed paperless hospital in Mauritius also. Well, one ENT hospital at Mauritius, which was inaugurated by our Prime Minister 2 years back. So we are also working for the health infrastructure in Mauritius also, and including the IT infrastructure. So our more focus on to develop these infrastructure in such a way that they can adopt the digital health mission of our nation, and they can also provide the information, patient information in the central hub, where the we can generate our health card and all these in nationwide. So ultimately, our contribution to the nation is to develop in such all these infrastructure as well as IT infrastructure for the future aspects.
Right. And we know kind of work being done by HSCC over the years, starting from concept to commissioning of the hospitals, government hospitals and big scale hospitals like AIIMS. And even in some different terrain also, we have put up hospitals. And again, technology has played an important role in that. So till now, we heard about the digital transformation journey of the various PSUs from our speakers. Let me take a different perspective from Mr. Ritu Naran, Senior General Manager from Container Corporation of India. Ma'am, if I may ask you that, we all know the digital transformation journey has been happening over the years, which has expedited maybe in last 2, 3, 4 years more. But what are the bottlenecks or challenges when it comes to adapting to technology innovation in PSUs? Is it the mindset? Is it the skill set or something else? Your take on that, ma'am.
Yeah, first of all, I'm very thankful to be on this esteemed panel. And coming to your question, I'm from Container Corporation of India Limited, which is a company of multi-logistic business. So if we go by management perspective, the main vision is customer value creation. That's the first objective of the company. So as far as the vision is very clear, that we have to provide the services, and being a PSU, a lot of challenges are there, because when a PSU works in a zone, it is not a choice of location, right, where we want to work exactly. Sometimes it is a remote location, sometimes infrastructure is not there, skilled manpower is not available, and many more things are there which are not in your favor, right? So as a challenge part, firstly, the area of the work where we have to provide the services is a first issue. Later on, it comes to the management and the people of the company. From my company, it does IT, we have to go by IT, and we have to implement applications, we have to provide services. This has come from the management point, right? They, as per their vision, we have automated each and every process in the company, and not from today. We have done this thing from last 20 years, or I can say more than 2 decades. We have already implemented all centralized applications, and both for office automation as well as for the customers. You can believe whatever the information a customer requires, it is available on the fingertips, right? It is available on the web-based, mobile-based, chatbot, whatever you name, the things are available for the customer. Coming forward, as you mentioned, a lot of technologies are available in the market, but choosing a right technology to meet the objective of management and as to provide service to the country is very important. People heard about there's IoT, there's AI, blockchain, and a lot of things are there. When we come to exactly implementation of any technology, we just think, what is the objective, why we are implementing it? Are we able to provide service to the country? Are we able to provide services to the customers? Can we bring the logistics costs down? So that's the main objective, right? So like recently, I will not name the things, like we have implemented first generation of computation, second generation, third generation, lot of challenges, lot of issues, compliances as a government sector, a lot of compliances, regulations you have to manage, right? It's just not implementing any application, you go to market and buy anything and you do it. Firstly, you have to go for tendering process, going for L1, many things are there. So I need not to mention that, everybody is aware of that. So recently for the customers, we are going to implement AI for the supply chain, complete supply chain, like a customer can book their containers, they can find their containers at presently where they are located on the real-time basis on their dashboards. And that we have already implemented at some level, not using AI, but different technologies we have used. They were segregated and there was a requirement to, we have to collaborate all the systems, legacy systems at the one platform, which we have already done through the service-oriented architecture. And without changing any single thing in the application, we have run the complete dashboard on that. So management can make a decisions based on that, past data, forecasting we have implemented, and that can provide a value added to customers. So the main objective is to serve country, and we are already doing. And during COVID period, like every PSUs were running, our government sectors were having problems. And in Conclave, we have already done that computerization ahead. Like there was no paper at that time, all e-office were implemented, even board meeting is on tab. You can imagine that critical things are there. So we have digitalized long back. So almost 5-7 years when the COVID period was there, we were not having any problem. We have already implemented e-office, VPN systems, everything was available. So we just started working and we were able to serve the country. Thank you.
Right. If I take a cue from what you have said, a very important thing you have said, ma'am, that it's not about only embracing technology, but to identify which technology can be workable for your ecosystem. There are multiple solutions, multiple technologies are coming every day. But we also need to identify which technology can be leveraged, which will be beneficial for my organization or for my office. That is very important. And I can see a headline news also that you're going to deploy AI in a larger scale for your entire operations, especially for customer-centric operations. That's a news for us because we cover public sector as a whole, also as a media company. So that's a news for us, team. Take a note of that. Let me take a perspective from Mr. Chandan Kumar Barman, DGM IT Oil India Limited. Your thoughts on the challenges of embracing technology or maybe the emerging technologies. That can be also, we can also discuss that. Your thoughts on that.
Hello. Yeah, thank you, APAC Group, for inviting me here and to be part of this esteemed panel discussion. In the context of digitalization, I think, first of all, from all PSUs and from my company especially, we are very thankful to the government who gave us so much of support to embrace the new digital technologies. And we are more or less mandated to implement state-of-the-art, maybe Industry 4.0 kind of technologies, the way it suits us. And with that perspective in mind, my company had started an ambitious set of initiatives under the project umbrella called DRIVE, which is digital readiness for innovation and value in exploration and production, which is the core vertical of my industry. As you said, the challenges and maybe the hindrances that we have faced while implementing all these initiatives. We have initially envisaged for about 11 initiatives. Out of them, already 7 have gone live. And most of them primarily encompasses like drone surveillance, artificial intelligence, adoption of cloud technologies like that. The learning that we have had till now is that one aspect is that we in the process of implementing all these digital initiatives, we happen to be embracing a set of different cloud providers which are integrated with our core data centers. So we found that having multiple set of public clouds integrated to your data centers may be a challenge at times in terms of operations, in terms of security and all. So that way possibly in a consolidated public cloud service could be a better way of managing heterogeneous digital initiatives from a big company perspectives. And the other aspect which I would like to highlight is that in terms of AI maybe, see, I belong to a company which deals with very capital intensive and very highly unpredictable kind of business, which is exploration of oil. So you have to be very precise on what you do, otherwise your whole lot of investment is concerned. Now, in one of our projects, which is reservoir modeling, supposedly we're used to AI-enabled static modeling and all. Now, when my reservoir engineer says that they're using some static model, which possibly AI is helping them, but which is not up to their liking or up to their satisfaction. What they say is that once this static model is accepted, maybe this could be an industry standard. What I mean to say is that this sort of AI model or AI basically try to innovate on its own or try to learn it. So implementation of this kind of technologies which may not be that measured is a kind of a challenge or kind of could be a challenge for us to eventually establish the ROI. So these two aspects I would specifically like to highlight in terms of challenges in technologies. Thank you.
So one thing is managing cloud infrastructure and that AI, the evil side of AI, if I say so. Or so we have to identify the good side of AI or the opposite side of AI, and accordingly we have to use that. Because already there's a huge debate going on that AI is going to get away your job. The huge debate going on world over be it for private companies or government companies always. But again, we have to take the help of emerging technologies as and when it is beneficial for us. Let me have a perspective from Mr. Ajay Kumar Pathak, AGM from NTPC. Mr. Pathak, your thoughts on the digital transformation journey and the challenges.
Thank you all, sir. In fact, NTPC is a big organization, as you know, and it's a multi-location, and our all plant generation and our business process is already digitized, and a lot of things is already automated. But even then, when your business progresses, lot of new challenges coming, and that in terms of like all PSUs were traditionally on note sheet mode. So during the pandemic, last 2-3 years, we did a lot with e-office, our Pradeep project implementation. So wherein we integrated each and everything from the digitize everything from the note sheet to the vendor payment, now digitally accepted, the payment done, because a lot of pressures on us also to showcase the realization of the payment to the vendors, because it's a topmost priority. Being a Maharatna, you have a lot of responsibility given by the top man. So it was there. So challenges was we have around 1 lakh, more than 1 lakh vendors around the globe. So everybody you have to educate, to upload signatures, we driving lot of sessions for them, webinars and etc. for uploading that. Again, came back to our plant operations. We have a huge manpower there also, as the contract manpower, our own manpower. So entry into the plant in those days and counting of them, their payments. So it is in all directions we have to do. It's sort of mandate, and implementing in such a huge thing, it is so educate them to take them on that platform. It was quite challenging, but being can-do approach, we did it. And further, now, like sir already mentioned, cloud infrastructure and all. So in public sector, all we know, going to statewide cloud is not an easy solution or not an easy decision taken by anyone any day. So everybody apprehension with the securities, but we have taken adequate measures to go on the cloud because easy deployment, every time you have a different requirements coming, and it is coming in very fast and evolving in the quick section. You have to do it. So those things are there, but we have a good team for that. So and a good partnership with all leading manufacturers and OEMs. So we did it. So again, we are going with our latest digital initiative. Lot of things again coming, and every day it is journey going on. So we have a plan. So we are good now.
So you have made my life easy because my next question was to you about the future plan and the latest technology or the latest plan you have for your organization. Let me start with you because I started from this side. Let me start with you. Quickly, your thoughts on, you're talking about the implementing latest technologies. If you can just shed some light without compromising with the privacy and secrecy of your company, maybe 1 or 2 lines about what kind of technology you are willing to deploy maybe in next 12 or 24 months down the line.
Sir, we have a mandate for digital initiative implementation as a MU part. So we are starting with AR, VR kind of thing for our training and 3D printing. A lot of things are coming. RPA is coming in big way, though we have implemented in some billing and all. Because our beneficiary is spread across the India, all utilities and all state electricity boards. So we are doing that part, but even then in commercial, lot of scopes are there. So we are going with heavily on RPAs. We have a drone technology because we have a plant in Hughes and coal stocks and all. Lot of assets are there. We have advanced pattern recognition, data lake kind of thing. So we are working on those things, recruitment processes, automation, end to end. We are telling us recruitment to retire kind of things project we have taken. And we are also, it is very small, but now it is felt across the organization to implementation of low code, no code. S4HANA also we are going in next year, within 2 years, we are going to implement for lot of analytics things are also coming.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Pathak. Mr. Burman, your thoughts on that quickly. Maybe next 12 to 24 months, what are your plans in terms of technology implementation?
Recently, we have completed a pilot project on drone technologies, which we have very successfully utilized to monitor any miscreant activities or any pilferage of crude oil on peripheral pipelines and all. So that pilot project is successfully completed. So we're going to extend that, maybe with a bigger scope, having video analytics and all. So that is in our radar and very quick time. Then secondly, RPA is another aspect which we haven't done yet, but yes, we have it on our plan of action. And the other thing is that sensor-based monitoring of well location, well activities, basically real-time monitoring. That also, that pilot project has been completed for 3 wells. So we're going to extend those monitoring for another 7 wells in coming days. And all these projects, I would say, the pilot initiative has been successful. And we're going to expand on this.
Right. Ritunaran, your thoughts on that? To you.
Yeah, as I've already mentioned, we will be shortly enabling AI at all our terminals, handling containers, right? So whenever any customer is going to book any container and it is coming to our ICD, so they will be able to have a complete real-time monitoring, tracing of the container. They can have a better, like we have already implemented like first mile, last mile services through mobile application. Like if any customer comes with any of the requirement, then online bidding take place at that time only, and he will get the latest, whatever the best rates are available for their consignment of any type of the services, which we have already launched. And integrating with the AI, they will be able to already yard will be planned through AI. All warehouses we are going to implement through robotic informations, like it will be totally replacing humans. So timely delivery and warehouse automation is in process. Next is in process is blockchain implementation, right? Especially for the smart contract management and for bank guarantees and payment module we have already implemented in our company. Like with the implementation of that, that has ensured that all payments which are coming for any of the contracts get cleared in 3 days. It is around having 90% success. So that is the assurance delivered by our management to all stakeholders that any payment which is coming will be cleared within 3 days. So that benchmark has already been established. So we are going to integrate that thing with the blockchain. So smart contract management is another thing which is in pipeline.
Right. So AI, blockchain, robotics. If I just sum up your future plan, Ajay Kumar, Nima ji, your thoughts. Which technology you are focusing on? Maybe for next 1 year or 2 years down the line.
Yeah, actually, we for our corporate office HSCC, our challenge is to how we monitor our big projects in different states of the country. So now we are going to develop our surveillance system in such a way that we can monitor our system actually on from our managements directly from head office. So how we develop the surveillance system at site construction projects. So we are developing our as a pilot project first in Rajkot. So better monitoring on the day-to-day basis, because it's a very challenging to deliver the projects timely and handing over to the clients in timely manner. So that is our one aspect from our corporate office, and other one is from our client side, that we have to utilize the AI, deploy AI for the PAC system. So how we can generate automatically reports for our clients for this X-ray and some other equipments, medical equipments, on the without help of the doctors. We can support to the doctors if they want. So use the IoT services for the hospitals. So better way we can capture the data automatically without human interference. So all these new technologies we want to deploy. Though so many startups have come up for developing this technology, but they are facing the problem to how they can deploy in government sector. So we are helping them. How we can collaborate with our government clients and deploy all these latest technologies with the healthcare sector, in the healthcare sector, with the help of our clients.
Right. So one way is site surveillance, and other way is emerging technologies, AI, IoT, and all those things. Mr. Mittal, your thoughts on that?
So we are a little different industry in the sense we work within our.
I know, but just
So I just mentioned well to boardroom. That is the top track.
Right.
And as a part of that, I am upgrading right from my well site. A lot of sensorization is happening, lot of IoT is happening, lot of OT with respect to predictive and preventive maintenance is happening, lot of production side surface management, analytics, video analytics, not only with respect to the safety, because that is a paramount stuff which looks very small, but when you actually do the project, that is a huge thing. Then what blockchain contract management has already been implemented by us way back, 2 years back. Then WIMS portal, if you really say, from the, right now my vendor doesn't have to interact with me. Everything is online, right from payment, I mean from the invoicing till payment. They don't have to interact. We have our fixed timelines. They are already in place. RPAs, they are in place. These are already done till 22. And now, effectively, we have identified more than 70 plus projects, out of which around 10 projects are in pilot stage. Not really in pilot stage, but in one field per se. And we will be evaluating them, and specifically in those areas, both from, I would not say AI per se, but the high-end IoT technologies and analytics. In analytics, you may use AI or otherwise. So a lot of algorithms would be written. And once, based on the results, we will be scaling them up across the organizations. AI, one of the major use which we are planning and looking in is in our interpretation. So it's like that when you do a survey on a geological survey, so you have a cross sections. So today you do a cross section if you do a cross section here, then every 10th cross section you have to do a complete interpretation. There we are looking at an AI where the pattern would be formed, and it will be cut down to 1 to 1000 instead of 1 to 10. That is one area where we are focusing. Then there is another area where our regular scientific based interpretation happens. But we have recently set up our analytical platforms, and we have gone with a separate approach with a data based approach. So I don't have to be a scientist, core scientist, I would say, but based on the mature fields and the surroundings, certain data would be available. And based on the data, we are correlating them with the actual interpretation or actual produce what we get. And then we have come with a data-driven reservoir modeling rather than a core scientific modeling. So that is a kind of a help and a cross-check as a doctor would, कि okay, kitna hai or kitna nahi hai. So those are the few things which it's not the complete stuff. These are the major ones. And
Right.
if you talk at logger one, probably 70%.
Right. But data-driven well monitoring, that's interesting. Mr. Mathur, quickly.
Yes, I'll try to be as quick as possible. So basically, I've just jotted down a few points here. Basic movement that we are doing is, as I told you, is integration of all the functions and managing the complexity of the various IT systems in the organization. Because as you know, railways is a very complex organization. So the approach that we have now taken is to develop the enterprise architecture, which is a structured approach to architecting our systems. That is to manage the complexity. Now that drives the technology selection. So technology selection, instead of having to select from a palette of different technologies, you are able to reduce that the menu by adopting an enterprise architecture approach. And when you do that in a structured way, you model your processes and then you move down to applications and data, and then the technology selection then sort of becomes easier that way. So that is one of the things that we are doing right now. The idea is that we should integrate our system with the larger, as I told you, the larger ecosystem, logistics and travel ecosystem, which is the Government of India's thrust right now. Regarding data, because data governance is a very important part right now, we have found that data governance is very important. So we are putting in place a data governance program. The idea is to be able to use the data to take data-driven decisions, provide dashboards to different levels of users, and then use AI ML, of course, to analyze the data. That has also led us to integrate our IoT and cyber physical systems based applications, because they were all scattered across, and the effort now in the next few years is in a big way to use IoT and CPS, as all our esteemed panelists have also mentioned. So that will be very big. And along with that comes edge computing, the need for innovative wide area networks, low power WANs, utilization of 5G, and and edge computing. And therefore, we are looking at a multi-cloud hybrid, hybrid multi-cloud, what we call a hybrid multi-cloud strategy for hosting our applications, which is a combination of in-house cloud, our own cloud, as well as external cloud service providers, provided they are empaneled with MATI. So basically, that in a nutshell is what you will see from us in the next few years.
Right. Thank you so much, Mr. Mathur. So if I wrap up the session by taking the crux of what has been discussed for the last 45 minutes or so, as if you talk about how the digital transformation journey has been for public sectors in India, that is, one is breaking the silos, identifying which technology can be suited for my organization, and embracing new technologies like AI, robotics, ML, and RPA. But again, that depends on which emerging technology can be best suited for my own organization. And that has been the crux of what we have been discussing for last 45 minutes or so. Thank you so much, all of you, for joining us today. If I may ask Mr. Rajneesh Dey to come on stage and kindly hand over the souvenirs to our esteemed speakers. I once again thank all our esteemed speakers for this session. Sharat Sahai Mathur from Chris, Vishal Mittal, ONGC, Ajay Kumar Nima, HSCC India Limited, Ritu Narang, Continental Corporation of India, Chandan Kumar Burman from Oil India, and Ajay Kumar Pathak from NTPC. Can we have a huge round of applause for all of them, please? We can start with Sharat Mathur from Chris. To Mr. Vishal Mittal from ONGC. To Ajay Kumar Nima from HSCC India Limited. Ritu Narang from Continental Corporation of India Limited. Chandan Kumar Burman from Oil India. Mr. Ajay Kumar Pathak from NTPC. Thank you so much, all of you. Can we have a group photo of all the speakers together, please? Can we have a group photo of all the speakers together, please? And let me also invite Sarabjit Singh Madan, Chief Architect, Red Hat, for his technology presentation. I request Mr. Singh to come on stage, please. Thank you so much.